How about those Bobcats, huh? I told the guys at pregame meal today, which is when I do my last talking to them really, that this would come down to the last drive and maybe the last play and maybe overtime. I didn't realize I was going to be quite as prophetic as I was, but it did. We made the plays. What a play at the end by Tyler and Ben Ija, and what a job Jason Dan did to win the game, and what a great victory for our team. Those are tough losses and great wins, and I feel for South Alabama a little bit because I know what that feels like, and they've lost some games at the end of the last play or so tough for them, but great victory, and I was proud of the kids and proud of the way they battled, and the ups and downs of the games. We survived it and made a play or two that kind of finished it off, and this guy finally got one in the end zone. I mean, we've all been kidding him for weeks now about it's about time to score instead of just run down there and fall down on the 8 or something. So that was big. The disappointing thing probably is 27-17. We needed to finish them right there, and we didn't get it done. And that's the disappointing thing about it. But hey, we're not going to dwell on that too long. We found a way to win.
I know you guys don't draw up a 4th and 25 play too much, but what was the play call? What did you see from the sideline that worked so well? I mean, Tyler had to kind of escape pressure, but.
Well, the key was we called a double post type thing, but the key was Tyler moved around the pocket, bought time. Coverage starts to break down. He makes a great throw, finds Ben for a strike, and we do that drill every Sunday. Tyler, you've seen it. Every Sunday we do it at the end of practice, and we put him in a lot tougher situations in a minute and a half with the timeout to have to do something like that, and they executed it pretty well. I think the scramble by Tyler caused the coverage to break down a little bit. He found Ben with the seam, and Ben made the play.
What were your conversations with Tyler like in the final drive? What would you see in his face? It was a big play for a freshman.
His face doesn't change. I would not want to play poker with the young man. He doesn't tip his hand. And believe me, I've challenged him many times. He was as cool as it was the first drive of the game. There was no change in his demeanor. He had his job to do, and he knew it, and he was going to do it. And that's the way he is, and that's what makes him a quarterback.
Was it a concerted effort tonight to throw the ball more, or was it just that against South Alabama, or was it that you wanted to balance it out of the offense, like you're saying?
What we tried to do is find a way to win, And last week, though it wasn't real pretty, we did what we needed to do to win the game. And this week, as you heard me say, we knew we'd have to do more to win the game. And the coaches had a good game plan, and we knew we would have to be more diverse and keep them off balance a little better than what we did. And Tyler made some good throws. The receivers made some good catches, and we protected fairly well at times against a pretty good front defense.
You said about the fourth quarter defense. South Alabama had 170 yards at the end of the third, and I think they had 409, and they seemed to maybe figure something out. Is that kind of the way you saw how the game came out, or what happened to the defense that breakdowns in the fourth quarter?
Sometimes I think a mentality happens to a defense when it's up 10 points, and they get a little soft. But the worst thing that happened is I think it was two. We let two balls go over our head, and the one catch, the one before the last one, was an unbelievable catch. We defended it pretty well. And the second one was a great catch, too, but they made the play. Now you got to give them credit. But you can't let balls go over your head in that situation. You got to make them, if they're going to score, we got to do it like we did with Georgia State last week, where they scored, but the game's over and we won. And we didn't do that tonight.
They dropped by then to score the touchdown and to take the lead there at the end. It felt a little bit like Monroe. Is there sort of similarities between those two final drives? Is that kind of a problem in the defense?
I think there's a big difference in those two drives. We had some critical errors in the Monroe drive, 4 or 5, all of a sudden at the end of the game. it's a critical error when the ball goes over your play, but hey, let's give them credit. They made a great throw and catch, too. So we got beat, but we didn't make critical errors, not cover the right guy or something like that. So you can say that if you want to. I'm not going to look at it that way because there were big differences that I know happened and that separated the two. We didn't make critical errors. We gave up the points, but we didn't make critical errors.
With Mayo out, how did you feel the other linebackers did, like Steven Smith and McMillan? How did you feel they did?
I thought they played solid. I thought Damon played solid. That's a good offensive ball club. That's a senior quarterback, and you guys can see how he's got a great command of what he's doing out there. I thought he played very well. He did. We got one turnover tonight, and it was a great play by Justin, and that kid played with a lot of moxie tonight and threw it away when he needed to, and he made some big-time throws on the last two drives there, certainly.
Did it feel good to get a pick six go your way?
Yeah. Yeah. We traded him tonight.
Talk about the crowd tonight, Coach, especially, that last 2 minutes. It kind of seems like they got louder and louder as the game progressed, especially that last 2 minutes. Let's talk about the crowd a little bit.
Well, the crowd was awesome. We had a good student crowd, and, our fans do a great job of energizing our players, and it was exciting in the last 2 minutes. Seemed like it lasted about 2 hours, but the fans were awesome, and we appreciate them a great deal, and I don't know if they could ask for a much better football game tonight.
Where does tonight's game rank, the ending rank among the finishes you've had here at Texas State?
At Texas State? I remember, it's right up there with as good as any of them, I have to tell you. I remember a homecoming game, we trying to kick a field goal my first stint here on the last play of the game to win and missed it, and they roughed the kicker, and we moved up and made it and won the game. So I'll never forget that one either. Everybody left, and we had chain link fence, and they're all standing at the chain link fence when we're trying to kick the field goal to win the game. So, and that was homecoming too. I know, I think. So, but it's probably about as sweet a end of the game win as ever.
I saw you got hit with the flag out there. Do you got to do some push-ups and sit-ups like the players did last week?
I think they gave me a reprieve in the locker room. I think they know I'm too old to do them.
How pivotal can a win like this be for where you want this team to go the rest of the season?
Well, that was win number 5. Teams are defined in October and November. A month from now, we'll be playing Troy on the day after Thanksgiving, approximately. So we'll be defined in this next month, and we know that. We have tough games ahead of us, but it's huge to get this one tonight. Puts us in a good position. We know we can do it when our back's against the wall. We know how to battle. It's been 3 years to get guys to that point in time, and now it's what do we make out of this now? Can't rest on it. Nobody else is going to. And you look at this league. I don't know how the Western Kentucky Troy game came out. Does anybody know? Troy won. Troy throws one in on the last play of the game to beat South Alabama. So it's a pretty close league. It comes down to a few plays in a lot of these games, and we just you gotta hope that you can get really ready emotionally to play every week, and we overcame playing without David tonight. He'll be back, but we overcame playing without him, and you're going to have to do that as you go down the stretch. And I always have a saying: "Dead men got to walk" in October and November, and everybody's got bumps and bruises, and everybody's got pain, but injury you don't play with, and the teams either get better or they get worse this time of year, and hopefully we're getting better.
You talk a lot about mental toughness and emotional toughness, especially after that last drive that South Alabama hit on you guys. That was a point where any team could really fold at that moment. Just saying that happened. How much credit do you give your team for pulling through and even facing that 4th and 25 to go through that?
I can't give them enough credit. Even on 4th and 25, there were guys still believing, saying, "We're going to get it. We'll get it." I still can hear Felix Romero saying that. So you as a coach, you feel like you're reaching them, and as players, they're believing, and you're grateful as a coach that they were rewarded for believing. There are no guarantees in this game. The only guarantee is that you'll lose if you don't prepare. But even if you do your best week of preparation, there's not a guarantee of winning. There's just a guarantee of your best chance. But with a great week of preparation, there's no limits for you either. And we didn't define any limits for ourselves tonight, and we made the plays at the end.
You had 4 wins last year and 5 wins this year. You started to see the progress the team's making, the program's making.
We do. We got 5 a lot earlier than it took us to get 4 too, but we've still got a lot of tough games ahead of us right now. 3 out of 4 on the road and things like that. So I felt like we were making progress in this program. I tell you all the time it's a process, and we're not to the end of the process or close to it yet. We've still got some recruiting and building and things to do, but I'm really proud of these guys, and I really enjoy coaching them. And when they're all in and they buy in and they do the things like that they're doing, you as a coach, you feel really good about the things that happen to them in a positive way, like they did tonight.
Coach, after a few games in the Sun Belt, you feel like you kind of gotten a feel for what the Sun Belt's like, and non-conference game next week, is that going to be, what's that transition going to be like?
Well, they are a future Sun Belt team, so hadn't really thought about that yet. I thought about more going on the road and playing there. We played Idaho when I was here my first stint. I'm 0-2 against them, so we lost a tough game here against them. They had a left-handed quarterback named Doug Nussmeier that was pretty good, and we played him tough. And then we went up there and got beat on a 2-point play at the end of the game. They had a good ball club, and they went to the playoffs and everything. So it'll bring back memories for me going to the Kibbe Dome again. I've been there. I'm going to enjoy this for a little longer tonight, though.